Hi, I'm Caroline, and in the last episode I hiked the long way around to reach the top of the Old Man of Coniston in a heat wave. Today, with achy legs, I'll be taking it a little easier by undertaking a gentle hike to Latrigg, providing me with beautiful views over Basingthwaite and Derwent Water.
Good morning and welcome to our second day here in the Lake District. Unlike yesterday, which by English standards we would definitely say that we were in heatwave weather and there's barely a cloud in sight, this morning we woke up to what was really thick fog. From the house I could barely even see the wall behind me, but we've decided to have a bit of a leisurely breakfast, in part because yesterday's hike was very strenuous and we're all feeling it just a little bit today, but also just to try and give the fog a bit of a chance for it to disperse. As the morning's gone on, the trees over there have actually started to come into sight, and we've decided that we're going to stay in the north of the park. We're going to head up towards Derwent Water. We are going to have a go at doing a nice walk called Latrigg. We might see if we can pop into some tea rooms. We're considering potentially getting a gondola across Derwent Water, and I think we're just going to try and have a bit more of a chilled, lazy day without sort of staying around in the house but still seeing the park. Hike starts here at, well, I say hike, it's probably going to be more like a walk today, but it starts here at the old railway station in Keswick, and unfortunately we have been greeted by this sign here saying that the path ahead is closed because of bridge repair work. I think that the bridge was taken out in the floods a few years ago. Luckily they have given us an alternative route. It just means that we're going to have to go a little bit more through the busy town rather than sticking to slightly more prettier routes, but that's okay. We are still going to get to go up onto the hill that we've already seen. Unlike a lot of the higher mountains, I don't know if you can call them those here in the Lake District, it's not shrouded in clouds, so we should still be able to get a good view so long as the weather doesn't get worse on us. Okay, this detour might not have been quite so terrible after all. We're actually walking through this beautiful park where they've got things like balls, they've got lawn tennis, which I don't think I've ever seen before outside of Wimbledon. And yeah, it's just absolutely stunningly beautiful. So I'm quite happy with this detour. We have a stream and a bridge and lots of trees where their twigs have fallen down, so what a better opportunity to play blue sticks. We've managed to make it back onto the trail that we were originally supposed to have been on. So currently we're walking along a disused railway line. Whilst the council was quite good in letting us know that the bridge was under construction and we weren't to use it, and this was a bridge that we could use as an alternative, what they weren't so good at doing was letting us know how to actually get back up onto this. Once we did and we rejoined, there were actually quite a few people who were just ignoring the sign that you weren't supposed to be walking across the bridge, and they were just walking across it anyway. We are doing a circular walk today, not there and back, so thankfully we don't need to make that decision as to whether we also want to be rebels on the way back or not, because we'll be coming out back to the car in a different way. Currently walking underneath the Greta Bridge, and it is the A66 that runs above it. It's quite noisy, but apparently in 1999 it was voted as the best concrete engineering structure of the century. Me personally, I find that it kind of just looks like a regular bridge. There wasn't really very much more information given as to what's so special about it. It's great for being able to get around places much more quickly up here, but I think it looks quite ugly personally. We've just come out to a truly stunning part of the walk where We've come up alongside the river. There is kind of like some rock that was making it virtually impassable, and they've built like a wooden boardwalk that you can walk over, and it's just making me think that this was once a railway line and the trains used to come down here, and this is the view that people would have had. It almost seems a bit of a shame that this is no longer a working train line, because it would have been beautiful for tourists to come on here. We've also really taken note of the amount of driftwood that's down there on the river, and obviously it has to have come from somewhere, so the flooding around here must have been really, really horrendous. Have come out of the woods and away from the stream up onto what is, believe it or not, if you look behind me, our Ordnance Survey map is telling us that this is a road. I personally think it is the width of a footpath. They have basically told motorists that they can bring a vehicle along here, but me personally, I would hate to even be in the tiniest of cars trying to come along here. It is quite nice for us because it's quite flat and easy on our feet. To the top of Latrigg, and we've got absolutely stunning views over the town of, and I always get the two mixed up, this one is Keswick, and then you've got Derwent Water just behind a bit, and we're just going to keep on wandering a little bit further down because we believe that over there we might be able to get a nice view of the Eskdale Lake as well. Turns out I'm getting my lakes very, very wrong. I have just been informed that actually it's Bassenthwaite that we can see behind us here, and we're just kind of hoping that the clouds might hold off a bit more, because it's been really nice just sitting up here in the sun. Yeah, the clouds are all covered over the sun every now and again, but really nice, and we feel like we've definitely picked one of the better, I don't want to say peaks because I wouldn't describe this as a peak, but definitely one of the better waters to go on today given how cloudy some parts of the Lake District are today.
This was the second episode in a two-part mini-series, but there's still so much more to come. Pressing fast forward, I'll jump to 2020, and with a couple of camera upgrades and a few friends in tow, I'll be embarking on a seriously amazing exploration of some areas within the Scottish Highlands and Islands. In true When Adventure Knocks style, I'll be undertaking a few hikes, some with very little challenge, on one that's arguably the most challenging in the UK. I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for wildlife, going in search of some of Scotland's most beautiful beaches, and ticking off a few bucket list places made famous thanks to Hollywood. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join me in my adventures.